Hi, aloha, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is a little, oh man, I'm starting to sound like I'm a coach who complains about a lot of stuff. I promise I'm not, or that I'm somebody who judges. I don't, just my ego does, so it's fine. But today we're going to be talking about a subject that from a professional angle I see a lot of, and it's something that I see so much of, especially in my community, meaning the holistic health community, that I say, I see it, or I've seen it become a new obsession / addiction. And this is the topic of toxins. Dun, dun, dun. That was supposed to be like super like magically loud and like fill the room. I don't know if it did, but we'll just pretend it did. So toxins, what are they? Why is this the focal point of especially the holistic health community, and why do people feel now that they constantly have to be detoxifying in order to be healthy? So I hope to cover or attempt to cover those 3 sessions. I know sometimes, or 3 questions sessions, sometimes I can get sidetracked and, it's just a thing my mind does. It kind of sometimes gets off the leash and just sees a shiny penny and wants to go run for it. So I kind of apologize a little bit for its misbehaviors. So toxins, what are they? Without getting into like super scientific stuff, although if you were to Google it, I'm sure there's like a Oxford definition or Webster or whatever. But a toxin basically is an unwanted byproduct, usually of some kind of metabolic process. So toxins are actually something our bodies are creating all the time. We create free radicals just from respiration. We create free radicals from exercising. We create free radicals, which free radicals are a form of toxin. It's a byproduct of a metabolic process. So in essence, our bodies are creating toxins all day, all the time. So where did this notion of detoxifying the body come from? Well, there's been a long-held tradition in holism and holistic medical systems going back to ancient times, to ancient Egypt, ancient Mesopotamia. And traditionally, most cultures that believed in purifying the body to some degree and to help just, help the body along and give it the most maximum benefit from your nutrition to exercise to just environmental factors. And so traditionally, cultures would detox about twice a year, and that was usually around the spring and winter solstices. And in those detox systems, programs, whatever words you want to use, there was usually some kind of ceremony around it. And so, fast forward to today, and there's still a lot of cultures that practice some kind of regimen where they do acknowledge, the body can maybe use a little extra boost in its detoxifying abilities. And so that's where we get, all of the herbal concoctions and really most of the detoxifying tonics, if you will, are herbal based. But there are even some more, again, it's not really modernized. I guess it's just more modernized because we have a more modern scientific understanding of why and kind of how some of this ancient stuff works. But there's even some detoxes that utilize a very diluted kind, but basically seawater and taking in sea salts and minerals and seawater and whatnot. So, there's detoxifying programs and regimens of all kinds from all over the world. Typically, again, the whole idea was to help the body in understanding that, if we do take certain proactive actions, we can help the body not only be at its best and run at its best, but we get the benefit of feeling higher, what's called vitality. And vitality is more than just, feeling energy and energized. It's, just kind of like, think of somebody who feels good and happy and then crank up the saturation of that picture to like, different increments. And that's kind of what vitality can look like if you're trying to capture it in a picture, I suppose. And so now, looking at what we do today and why we do it, as far as this whole detox trend, but it's not a new trend. It's a trend that has been going on for a while now. And it's, kind of on the superficial face of it, it looks like, we have sincere desires to help the body and this and that. But where I'm seeing that we're going a little too far, maybe into the realms of obsession or addiction, is that first, I think there's a misunderstanding as to what the body itself is actually capable of doing as far as the detox process is concerned. And so because there's a misunderstanding there, that kind of leaks into, I think, some people feeling like, oh, I have to be the one to take those reins all the time, because if I don't take those reins, the body isn't going to do it or to be able to do it efficiently. And there's an asterisk on that too. For example, some people that are, just have an accumulation of, say, backed up systems, say their elimination systems haven't been able to do their jobs efficiently and for some time. Those populations, their systems are going to be a little bit sluggish, if not downright so backed up that they really can't detox at all. Or if it is, it's like a very slow process. And if you're somebody that needs or is having a health crisis to some degree, you're probably going to want to kick that process up a little bit. So that's where things like, the teas and the just various detox regimens can help. But going back to this notion of, well, I have to be the one to take the reins because my body won't do it. That's not the case if you're a healthy person eating a relatively well-balanced diet, especially if you do, at least get some kind of moderate exercise, preferably in nature. Meaning if you have, even if you live in the city, but if you can get to like a local park that helps to sort of shield you from the environmental toxins of city, for example, the air, that would be ideal. So the body does detox, and it detoxes every day. Why wouldn't it if it also, as an inherent aspect to just metabolism, it's creating toxins. So why wouldn't our own bodies by design be able to deal with those toxins or free radicals? It does. It's got several systems that help with what's called eliminations. So you have your kidney bladder to your lymphatic system, the skin being the largest organ of the body, greatly helps the body to detox. I know when heavy duty emotional thing for a lot of people, and including myself at one time in my life, we're dealing with acne, and there's so many emotional things that go with experiencing acne. If I could just throw out this one gentle reminder that it's not the skin to be hated because you're experiencing acne. It's the skin is doing its job, and it's trying its best to help eliminate whatever it is trying to eliminate from the body, and that's a byproduct. And so if you're somebody who is experiencing acne, that's an issue that does require looking at the fuller system, looking at your health in a more holistic way, because the acne rarely, unless it's like a certain kinds of acne, but very rarely is just there just all by itself, and there's no other body systems that are participating in you experiencing acne. So not to get on a tangent, but just trying to point out though that us getting acne is a byproduct of the body detoxing. And so the body it has all of these systems that are helping the body to get rid of these free radicals all the time. And again, if you're a healthy individual eating a pretty well-balanced diet, this should be a process that your body, well-balanced diet and drinking plenty of fluid, water, that your body should be doing on its own. Of course, nothing is black and white, so there's always exceptions to even that. Like, for example, if you've got a diagnosis that is obviously contrary to that, so, then that diagnosis, would kind of take you out of the equation of being the optimal healthy individual, but that it's the goal working towards back to optimal health, back to balance and homeostasis. So anyways, just highlighting that it's just a misconception that the body requires us to take the reins. It does do it, and it does it every day. So where it is correct for us to think that we can take the reins or need to, I've kind of gone over some of those scenarios, but other scenarios would be if you're living next to, like I mentioned, people living in cities. So it is, has been shown that the quality of city air just tends to not be as good as the quality of country air, and it's for a reason. And so if there's certain environmental factors that more greatly expose you to toxins that would be above what your body would be taking in on a normal basis or in normal, environmental conditions. Woo, excuse me. I'm going to take a pause and drink some water. Ooh, did I get my voice back? All right. So yeah, I mean, there are, of course, numerous examples of where it would be advantageous for people, especially if your exposure to any kind of external toxins that, for example, are not a part of your own body's physiological processes of creating its own free radicals, yeah, absolutely. It might be a good idea, once a season, once a month even, it's all relative to your circumstances and life variables. But that's where, again, we have to all look at our wellness paradigm on an individual subjective basis, because there's only one of us living our lives the way that we're living them. And so therefore all the variables that equal the equation of your life and lifestyle, they're unique to you. And so that's why we always have to approach our wellness and our health from a very individual basis. So now getting in to the part that I see as being, it's like my theory as to what I feel like I'm seeing as far as now people, getting into an obsession/addiction to this whole detox thing. And where I feel like it's become an obsession/addiction is, say that we've got emotional stuff going on in our life. And definitely, emotional stuff can absolutely leave you feeling just downright gross, to drained and fatigued, very similarly, depending on, the emotional upset, but very similarly to how we can sometimes feel just when we're sick. And so it does make sense to me that, the mind can go, oh, well, I'm feeling poopy, so therefore maybe a detox would be good. And so where I would like to just caution against sort of falling into this loop of thinking, oh, things don't feel good, I'll just do a detox and I'll feel better, is that it's kind of a superficial Band-Aid. And it's, again, like I was saying, I can get why the mind would go to that association, but it's not the root of the problem if the problem is not things that I've already mentioned. Like, for example, that you have a diagnosis that is saying, like, yep, you're this particular body system or these particular systems in conjunction are not operating optimally, or, the system's crashing. So yes, those are going to be people that are going to be working with doctors, other wellness professionals, to, anyways, not to get back into it, but any of the examples that I've already mentioned, those would be the cases to where, some more rigorous detoxing regimens might be useful, and so, but to come back to this place of, like, stuff's going off and I'm feeling upset, and to me, it's like the theory is we go to the detox being the fix, or, the quick fix, because it is the first sort of thing we can maybe wrap our hands around to get some sense of control, like emotional, mental control. And so again, I get that, and I get why our minds would take us there. Where I would invite you to go, if you're a person that's noticing yourself doing that, is to hold off on the detox, take a step back, and again, power of water, just water itself actually does help the body detox tremendously. It's one of the main fuel sources for one of the biggest detox systems of the body, the bladder, kidneys, or kidney bladders. Kidneys, bladder. So, you know, if there's kind of like a sense of, you know, needing to feel some kind of control, grab some water. Stop and even give that glass of water a quick prayer. You know, that kind of stuff. But you don't have to go out and spend money. And, you know, and do stuff like that, because too, what you might be doing by also going out and spending your money is, again, just getting kind of a quick pick-me-up fix, which, you know, relativity, sometimes that might not be so bad either, you know, if somebody's in a really low place. But again, it's a quick fix, you know, that quick little dopamine surge of, oh, I just went out and bought something, and ooh, you know, look at me, I'm so proud of myself, I'm going to do this detox thing, and detoxes are supposed to be good for me, right? So yay, I'm taking care of myself. You are, but you're still not getting to the root of your upset. And so that's what I mean by your kind of turning to something superficial, something that's not really, you know, the issue. Yeah, it might bring you a moment of feeling, you know, some control, and that's not entirely bad. It might even bring you a moment of kind of lifting you up. Of course, that's not bad. But, and if you're in a really low place, then, you know, it might be for your highest and greatest good to go ahead and do those things. But then while you're doing them, and you've been lifted up even just a little bit, to now go back and do the harder stuff, of, okay, so what was upsetting to me? Why am I feeling stressed? Why am I feeling anxious? Why am I feeling whatever it is that you're feeling as far as emotions? And detox that way. And I would be willing to bet, and it sounds like that's become almost a tagline of mine, I'd be willing to bet. I promise I'm not a betting person, but nonetheless, I would be willing to bet that you would, you know, not just get better results out of whatever detox goal you might be wanting, but you would actually be doing true healing work. And so, you know, just again, you know, I'm going to be saying this a lot on my channel, but healing work is not fun stuff. You know, like, I've used the analogy of working out before, and, you know, that working out sucks. Well, you know, too, even getting sick sucks. And so, but you once you've gotten the bug, you've gotten whatever it is, and you're sick, you're in it, and it sucks, and you just have to make your way through it. And then once you get through it, then it's like, okay, well, I want to try to do what I can to not experience that again. So, you know, we do things like, you know, increase our I don't know, citrus fruit intake, to, you know, whatever can enhance our immune system. Well, you know, getting to the deeper stuff of what's going on, that's enhancing your metaphoric immune system to, you know, the degree that hopefully, you know, that you're also healing through this stuff. And so again, you know, true healing work is ultimately ends with, you know, the healing is done. There's no, the issue is healed, it's fixed, there's no longer a reason to go there. So that's it. I really wanted to address this topic, I guess, at some point, and today was the day. Maybe I've been inspired recently through some client interactions. I'm not sure why, but this was something. Oh, actually, I know what it was. I was watching another YouTube channel, and they were actually talking about more from an economic perspective, but how so many people are into these detox teas and powders and whatever, the fads are. And, they were, again, it's from like a personal economic savings kind of channel. I forgot what it was called, but, that was the angle that they were coming from as far as, just trying to promote saving your money and stop spending our money on stuff that doesn't work. And, I don't agree with what they were saying that detox is like not... like a detox program doesn't do anything for the body. That's not true. Any colon hydrotherapist will show you that no, they do actually, in fact, get out some junk from the body. And when you can remove that junk, the colon runs a heck of a lot more smoothly. So, I didn't agree with their points on that, but I did agree with their points on a lot of the stuff that we tend to do as far as habits. And what I've seen, being somebody who's worked in the supplement industry, but then also too being a holistic health practitioner, is this kind of like hyper focus on detox, but it seems to be a correlation of, oh, something's going wrong in my life, I will do a detox and I'll feel better. And again, where that might be true superficially, like you might actually feel more energy or whatever, it might be a little bit of a placebo effect. And not that, that should be poo-pooed away either. Placebo is basically the power of the mind to heal itself, just like nocebo is the power of the mind to self-destruct. So, those are real things. They're not things to just, brush away. But, my point being is, why are you turning to the detox? And if you don't have a reason other than, oh, I just feel like stuff's going wrong right now and it's just something I need to do, you might be doing it for a maladaptive reason. And so that's all I'm saying, and just invite you to look at it, especially if you feel like maybe that's becoming a habit of yours. All right. So again, if anybody has comments, questions, concerns, complaints, tirades, as long as it's relevant to the content, feel free to leave it down below. And as long as it doesn't get vulgar as far as with the tirades and the whatever. But, all are welcome to, leave, bits of your wisdom, your experience. And also, too, if there's any content anybody would like to have me talk about coming up next, feel free to leave that below. And that's it. We're going to bring this to a close. Yes, I made it in under 30 minutes. All right. Oh, I apologize for not getting this up yesterday. It was a smashed full day and it wasn't going to happen. So today I had some availability. So I was like, you know what, we'll just do it tomorrow anyways. And then on that note, I'm in this learning curve still with trying to figure out scheduling and whatnot, but I'm starting to get the feel that Thursdays are going to be my filming and editing days. And then Friday will actually be like my upload day. So, because I've been getting my uploads done late on Thursdays, so just kind of giving an update on all of that. All right, that's it. Aloha for now, and we'll see y'all next time.